Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good, good. All right. Just like to tell a little bit of story and to let you guys know, what we've done. I come from an IT background, so basically the guys in the audience who know me are all shocked when they heard that I was running a high fashion company, because I used to be a massive fashion disaster. Tex, my business partner, he's considered one of the emerging talents in the Indonesia fashion industry, and a lot of people see him as the best hope for the Indonesian fashion labels to go global. So what do I actually do for the brand? All right, so what my parents think I do, because I'm always raising money for the company, right? But what I really do is I look through the spreadsheets, I strategize, the growth for the company, open up the markets, so on and so forth. So how do I forward this? Oh, there. So basically how I see myself doing this company is that a fashion disaster is, hopefully becoming more fashionable. I was quite reluctant to join the company because it's the first time I'm running a company that I have absolutely no idea about the product. And I'm a firm believer that the leader of the company really needs to be passionate about the product. However, I think I do have some skill sets to add value to it. So like Bilbo, who was reluctant to leave Bagan, I'm going on my adventure. All right, I like to just kind of let people know a lot of consumers mixed up brands and whatnot. This is basically what the fashion industry is broken up into. You've got the haute couture, which is the highest end of the fashion industry. You have to be certified by the French Federation in order to say that your label is haute couture. Then you've got most of the labels who claim that they're haute couture, but they're really not. That's in the bespoke segment. Then you've got the pret-a-porter, the ready-to-wear, which is really what most people buy. And the fusion line here is probably a term that most people who don't shop a lot don't get, which is it's actually a cheaper version of ready-to-wear. Then you've got fast fashion that is dominated by companies like Zara, and you've got Walmart, where you can buy a $10 T-shirt. Now, what's the difference between ready-to-wear and the fusion? Namely, price, volume, and accessibility. So, for example, a Givenchy T-shirt in the ready-to-wear segment will retail for, say, $500 in Joyce, while a tee by Alexander Wang in the diffusion segment would retail for $80 to $150. So, namely, price, but if you want to get into it, it's quality of the materials, the workmanship, and how many of it we make. All right. The industry segment for fashion is estimated to be about 318 billion euros this year, of which 30% is generated in Asia. Asia is targeted to become the largest luxury market in 2018. So, as you can see, in Asia, we account for a huge, huge percentage of the global market. So, and if you take all the segments that I mentioned earlier, I believe, I didn't fact check this, but it's over $1 trillion generated across the board for the fashion industry. So, I'm posing the question, why aren't there more luxury labels that are born and bred in the rest of Asia outside of Japan? So you've got Jimmy Choo here, right? Any ladies here wearing Jimmy Choo? Right? Malaysian company based in London. He sold it for 10 million pounds, and now it's a $500 million valuation. He wants to buy it back. Right? Vera Wang in New York, right? I'm sure some of you ladies wore her gowns at your wedding. Then you got Jason Wu, Taiwanese American, label based in New York, right? Made famous by Michelle Obama. Both her inauguration, it was his gown. And you've got Alexander Wang, probably the hottest Asian designer in the world right now. He got appointed creative director for Balenciaga recently. And his own label is being stocked in 700 stores around the world, and he has about 16 stores of his own name. So you got Michael Chinko here from Philippines, based in Dubai. So really, if Asia accounts for such a huge market, why are all these Asian designers not based in Asia? Asia has one of the largest manufacturing sectors for fashion. Why are they all not manufacturing here? Okay, does anybody know what this brand comes from? Yes, but I guess a lot of people would say France, right? Your first guess. This is, the name doesn't matter. It's really that what I want to illustrate here is that brands, high-end brands, can be born and bred within Asia. So what are the possible reasons? To be honest, I have no clue. Could be a combination of some, could be a combination of all of it. Maybe none of it, I don't know. What I do think, it's because in Asia there's a severe lack of incubation programs, a real incubator. We've got some in the IT sector, but if you look at every other industry in Asia, I cannot think of a single incubator, like a proper incubator, where you house them, you fund them, you mentor them, and you get investors for them, and you help them with the sales cycle, the marketing, and the branding. So this is a possible formula. This is our formula. We have a team. We have someone who's a fashionista. We have a pseudo incubation program that's a collaboration between the Indonesian government and the Center for Fashion Enterprise, which is a real fashion incubator based out of London. And of course, a little bit of luck. So what are the difficult parts for us? Really the balancing act. We dress Lady Gaga, we get all the fame and glory along with it. However, before that gown gets on that one single picture, it's many, 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 many hours of hard work. And how do we not let one side of the business overshadow the other side? Because, saying that, oh, Lady Gaga wore my product, it's quite an exciting thing. But, that doesn't keep your business running. Talent. I have to believe that my partner is extremely talented, given that he has so much attention in the fashion industry and in Hollywood as well, before we even have a product to sell. One of the biggest challenges was to take his bespoke designs and translate it into something like this that is actually more wearable. People can use it every day. So this logistics supply chain, without this, the business doesn't happen. And this is one of the biggest things with a lot of aspiring designers in Asia, where they totally ignore that this boring picture here is probably the single most important aspect of it. Every single buyer in this industry, when they notice your product, they'll come up to you, and the first question they'll ask you has nothing to do with your design, has nothing to do with the price that you're going to be selling at, is can you deliver, right? Because if they're going to, allocate space in their store for you, and as everyone knows, fashion is very seasonal, right? If you can't deliver the product, that is wasted retail space. So that is why the first question any serious buyer would ask you, are you be able to deliver? We got asked that by Barney's, and they didn't believe that we could actually deliver, and they walked out 10 seconds, right? And of course, a little bit of luck. We've been extremely lucky. Hunger Games. We became even luckier in this case when Jennifer Lawrence won Best Actress, because that just kind of skyrocketed our inquiries, and in fact, it generated a lot of lost opportunities, because logistically we could not fulfill all the buzz that it generated and all the requests that came in. that shining thing there was a collaboration with Swarovski in Shanghai. So, we got very lucky in terms of branding and imaging. So what we did was we also took a stance. All our advisors advised us against putting the word Jakarta on our label, and we insisted on it. And it was the only time all our advisors were unanimous in saying that do not put Jakarta on. Every time, every topic, they would have a little argument, but this time they were unanimous, but we decided not to listen to them, and it actually worked out very well for us because people liked the fact that we took a stance, we're proud of where we came from, and, Paris, Milan, New York, everybody seems to have it already. So Jakarta was actually fresh, and it generated a lot of discussion and conversations after our fashion show. Long, long hours of hard work, as with any startups. This is photos from us landing. So we basically went from the airport and started working. So you can notice that it's dark outside already, right? And the shows lasted for all of 12 minutes. And of course, mentors. Without the 4 individuals on the left, who were from the CFE, we would have never been able to achieve what we did in 9 months. Our company just turned exactly 1 year old 2 days ago, right? And the gentleman on the left is Colin McDowell, who has very kindly agreed to sit on our advisory board 2 days ago. So, without them giving us advice and reaffirming our way of thinking and telling us, helping us avoid all the pitfalls, we would have not achieved what we achieved in 9 months' time. So the results so far, we got onto the official calendar of Paris Fashion Week in September, and usually people don't get that until the 3rd collection, and we did it on our 1st collection. No products to show. The French Federation loved what we had, that they decided to go ahead with it. And about a week ago, we were advised that we will be on the on calendar of Paris Fashion Week in February. Again, 2nd collection. Usually, the on calendar, you don't get to be it unless you're a conglomerate already. So we would not have achieved this without the incubation program. What we joined is not a full-fledged incubation program. So imagine what we could have accomplished if there was a full-fledged incubator in our sector in Asia that we joined, right? So thank you very much.